Alrighty. Howdy, hey there folks, hope you're doing well today, hope you're doing amazing today. You wouldn't damn well guess? Yes, we are back at it again with some more Elden Ring no-hitting, and surely, today will be the day. Surely today will be the day that we carry this into true endgame territory, and honestly, the funny part is, right now, as far as things stand, as long as... I mean, like, we have... I really do genuinely think we have this at this point. And I think it's only right that we settle things with the Grundler himself. It only makes reasonable sense, because I think of the characters that we've built so far, of the characters that we've taken this journey with, I think the Grundler truly is him, honestly, at the end of the day. So I think it's only fitting that we Grundle it up. So, the Grundler 2. Alrighty, folks. Well, I think we're essentially ready to go, so let's just go ahead and get right into it, shall we? Let's not even hold back. Let's fucking get this. Seriously, let's actually get this. Let us demolish this game in real time without taking a single hit. There we go, cool, easy swaps. It's funny, I really don't even bother with bow canceling throughout most of the entire run. I literally just do it for right there and then one more time right out of the main exit to the mausoleum that we'd come out of. But otherwise, I really, honestly, don't fucking bother. Like, I don't know, it's just one of those things of just like, Like, yes, it's nice, it is speed tech, and honestly, you do that enough times, it definitely does stack up, for sure, but in my case, at least, I don't know, I don't really think I run into enough scenarios where that actually has to be a thing that I do. Not regularly, at least. Alrighty. So as far as things stand, I think we got a decent baseline of an idea down to start always doing it a certain way. And that in this case is getting Fort Height knocked out of the way and Caelid knocked out of the way pretty much as soon as possible, right? Because as far as things stand, we get our Kukri, we go get our horse, and then we're immediately off towards Fort Height. Set the time frame to daytime and all that magic, but either way, we go and do that. And I think that just puts us on a really good starting track for the early game, at least, because in this case, of the early game, we are dealing with two, frankly, dangerous enough situations that it just makes reasonable sense. Okay, free skull. God, I still wish, honestly, the skulls sometimes, like, a very rare chance, but I really do wish that they could sometimes drop, like, higher grade runes. Just on a rare occasion, you know, you pop a skull open, you get, like, a Newman's rune or something like that. That would be utterly nutty. And, like, don't get me wrong, RNG can kind of be unfortunate in certain cases, but I think that'd just be really fucking cool for this game as a whole. Because the skulls all being 200 apiece, you know, it's nice, it's free cash, but at the end of the day, is it really making or breaking anything? No, not particularly. Not really. It's not required, it just, I think it would be nice. I think it'd be cool. So, anyways, same thing as always, same way to start the run off as always. Go and murder these three lads in front of us to see how our luck is going to be, at least in terms of the early game. Then we are off towards Fort Height and all that magic. As far as things stand, honestly, I think I have been finding myself having more use out of going towards Weeping early on. It does give us the opportunity to get a couple more stones that I otherwise would not have access to. And the sooner that we get our balls up to +9, the sooner that we are able to go and really start a good chunk of the run. Because we pretty much just go right into bossing after we get our +9 balls. For the most part, at least. Alright, stand about right here. Aim at this guy's head. Fuck! Beautiful. Okay, we'll equip the flail, obviously, later. It's not important just yet. Yeah, honestly, it's just not important just yet. But it will eventually have its purpose in the grand scheme of things, just not for some time. So. Alright, and we'll wait to equip the kukri in just a second here. After we're done mashing dialogue with Melina here.
Yes, sir, but I can play turning to aid you. You need to the foot. Then it summon me. Ah, I bequeath. It will summon torrent. Treat him with...
Alright, we do want it to be daytime, obviously. Daytime is the preferred time of the day. It is safer, naturally, so yes. Do that, and then go ahead and put the kukri on our hotbar. Awesome, cool. And now we can start making our way through all of Limgrave, or at least a chunk of Limgrave. And handle pretty much, more or less, like a really sizable chunk of important shit. I guess I can be glad that, like, there's more or less, like... It's not that, like, there's not stressing chunks through the entire run. It's just nice, I guess, in this case, the fact that the run starts off with, like, 2 relatively stressful things pretty quickly back-to-back. Because those things are, stressful enough, but also quick enough to where losing the run at this point, by the time I get to those situations, it'll probably be like 10-20 minutes apiece, right? And don't get me wrong, 10-20 minutes lost sucks, yeah, but at the same time, better than losing like 2 hours to a run, so. Alright, now I do end up getting this grace up here because as far as things stand, I just have been finding it generally more useful to get this grace instead of the other one to get over to Weeping. This is like slightly faster in the grand scheme of things. It just leads right into Weeping as opposed to the one over by Kenneth Height, which is a little bit longer of a path, but I wouldn't say it matters a shit ton, but it's a little convenient. Couple seconds wasted so I don't have to waste even more. So. Alright, 1 free lily right here. Beautiful. I was gonna question whether or not that was gonna save me the fall damage there. I'm glad that it did, but still, one of those moments. Okay. Alright, got pretty much as much cash as I can out of that location. I always usually try to, just because, I mean, it's... The wolves usually react pretty slowly there as far as I've been able to pay attention. So, I mean, usually speaking, the cash just kind of flows pretty easily there. So one thing we'll probably do right after Fort Height here is we are going to go ahead and get the Axe Talisman and all the goodies that come along with it. I think in this case, it is generally safer for me to do that now as opposed to later. Because if I do it later, well, there's a chance I forget later, is really what it comes down to. Luckily, I don't think I'd forget too badly at this point in time because, well, I mean, the last time I forgot, I had to go and get the crabs. And because of that, I, in theory, should not have that problem anymore. Alright, 1 and 2. There we go. Beautiful. Walk it on back this way. Stand about right here. Murder rat. 2-hand blade. Thank you for that janky camera movement game. I appreciate it. Alright. Cool. Walk ever so slowly up these stairs. Stand about right here. Awesome. One free arrow into that guy. I was about to try something different here, but I think in this case I'm just going to keep up the formula that I have been keeping up. I did briefly mention it last time, but this guy really isn't required to be murdered. It's just kind of one of those things of... Nice fucking kukri throw. Awesome. Okay, we're fucking failing that test pretty badly there. Awesome. This is, like, embarrassing levels of fucking... How the fuck am I fucking this one up so badly? You know, we're getting the fuck up out of the way. We're getting the fuck up out of the way. That's what I'm gonna say is happening here. Actually, wait, he is by those barrels. Sure, whatever. You know what? Fine. Is my correct choice right now for... Okay, never mind, I can do this. I think my correct choice is just to just warp, apparently. I really... Okay, yeah, that actually is really fucking stupid. That was bad. I don't really understand how I was able to fuck that one up as well as I did there, but sure, I guess I did. Whatever, it's a couple more arrows and a couple more enemies. It's fine, grand scheme of things. Just really fucking stupid that I would have done that in that exact way. Luckily, at least I get to keep my money on this one, but still, just feels dumb. Beautiful. Murdered. Run over here. Look at this rat. Launch one arrow. I did not mean to side slash there. That was an accident. But I guess, you know what? We're apparently making a shit ton of accidents today. So there we go. Alright, now, this guy. What should have happened, and about right here. Aim that kukri at that wall. Beautiful. Walk up behind him. Backstab. Step back slightly. Heavy slash. Still on some fucking gremlin hours there, but whatever, I guess. I mean, we got away with it ultimately. We're gonna have to go and visit Weeping sooner now because of that, though, because now I am out of kukri. And being out of kukri is not so great. I could probably, in theory, handle the room down low with just the leftover bow arrows that I have. I guess that's possible. Yeah, alright, yeah, I'll fucking do that. I have more arrows overall anyways, so... It's not like my arrows serve as much of a purpose. Beautiful. Any chance that this will hit him right in the leg? Or not. Or could hit fucking nothing. That's also an option, I guess. Beautiful. Alright, where's that rat? There's that rat. Okay, so now I'm pretty confident the game actually is just trying to fuck with me at least a little bit right now. But it's fine. You know, it's totally fine. Was there not another rat in this room, or was it just one rat, two guys? I don't know why I could have sworn I thought that there were two rats in that room. Huh. Odd. Oh well. God, that fort height was bad. That was actually a horrible fort height. But we did not get hit, so we persist. Surely that's got to be, like, the highlight of the worst bit of the entire run. Surely it all is just uphill from here, right? Surely. Surely.
Welcome.
With my one kukri, I guess in this case I don't have to go immediately to Weeping. I will eventually need to go to Weeping regardless, but I could probably hold off. I only need one kukri for Kaled, so we should be fine. We should be fine on early Kaled right now. There's that one smithy too that I was talking about. Alright, avoid the bear, beautiful. Get that. And then head right on back. We're going to loop back around, and we're going to start heading towards Third Church. I guess technically speaking, what I could also do here as like a way to try to expedite the process just a little bit more here, or connect dots a little bit more, is we could go ahead and deal with the Kennethite, and then immediately get all the gravestones and all that magic, as well as the recipe. So I guess we could do that right now. Yeah, I guess we could do that right now. Yeah, okay, all right. Honestly, sure, fuck it. Let's toss Kenneth into the mix right now, and that way we don't have to do anything else in Lower Limgrave, at least, or shouldn't have to, at least. We're still going to ultimately have to go and loop around to a certain extent, because we do want to still get the Green Turtle Talisman. It is, admittedly, very fucking useful. So, it is kind of required.
Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth.
Get Grundled. Get Grundled. Get Grundled.
Tarnished.
See, what's funny is I think because I kicked him early there, the first kick didn't quite launch him as far. I didn't give it enough time to launch him further than it should have, but it because normally it's 3 kicks to kill him. Normally it's 3 kicks to kick his ass off the ledge, but oh well. All right, 1 free seed, and we are on our way. Alright, now we can go ahead and run through this area and collect, frankly, a rather sizable amount of money. Like, actually, like, unironically, this graveyard does have, like, a decent pile of cash in it. At least in terms of early game and whatnot, this is definitely more sizable than some of the other graveyards that we run across. Alright, beautiful. I'm trying to think of how many more situations we're going to need actual arrows on, and I think in this case we're okay. Like, I don't actually think we run into... Do we need this grace? Technically, no. Technically, no. Third Church isn't required. Third church is only required in terms of us visiting and then using this portal, but considering we've already finished up most of our shit in Lower Limgrave, we don't have to come back to that grace at all. Oh, there we go. Flask acquired. Awesome. Just a far enough route so that way these lads cannot slash us if they are feeling frisky enough. Alright, Dragon is slowly turning his cheeks around. He might turn around by the time we reach him. It's in theory. Or not. Or not. That's also an option. Alright, wait for the yell. Run. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Past Grail, no actual issue. Very good. Nice. Alright, all the money that we can earn. Beautiful. Cool. Here. Then from here, we are going to go ahead and get the Grace in front of Fort Faroth. Once we're done getting the Grace in front of Fort Faroth, we'll run over to the other side of this peninsula here and essentially get ourselves the Beast Torch, along with a couple extra items to pick up along the way for the most part. I'm almost questioning on why I picked those items up, though, because at least in terms of last time, I don't really remember overusing anything, and in theory we don't need more than one rune arc, which I forget where we get a rune arc, but we definitely get at least a rune arc somewhere on our pathing that doesn't require us to go out of our way. I think I'm going to do it this time, but hopefully make note of it, so that way I can have at least some better detail to it. Going down the small secondary path isn't a ton and a half. Like, that location that we just visited right there is a lot. We just got 2 Smithy 7s, a Smithy 8, as well as a Stone Sword Key, and that Stone Sword Key will get us our Green Turtle Talisman, which is pretty good. All things considered, that covers a lot. But this little rune arc path that we're about to go down onto, plus I guess we get a +9 Somber Stone, but the overall money gained from that stone is a little questionable on how much value it really provides. It's money, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like, how much is that money really worth? Either way, I mean, it's, you know what, it is money. And it's not really that far out of the way, grand scheme of things. I mean, it's like an extra, I don't know, maybe we spent probably like 10-15 seconds there just now. But might be worth questioning if I'm really trying to shave down more time. At least in terms of the setup phase. Alright. How's my dog RNG today? So I'm gonna save that, and this is gonna be the worst fucking day of dog RNG. Yeah, worst fucking day of dog RNG. Of course. I, like, shouldn't actually even be surprised. You know, I'm gonna get this Grace real quickly, because I don't trust that that dog isn't gonna just suddenly start bolting after me again.
Well, there's been a... How can I help?
That's the trick of the situation here. You never fucking actually mention on what your run is looking like and how likely your progress is going to be successful. Otherwise, this fucking happens every goddamn time. I'm gonna buy those arrows out because we're about to lose that extra 440 anyways if we don't spend it. So, yes, we do just spend it on arrows because, well, hey, it's something. It's not a lot, but it's something. Again, I am just mildly questioning on what do I need those arrows for. Alright, anyways. Fort Faroth. Actually, relatively straightforward. Well, relatively straightforward, my ass. Rock over this one. Aim about right there. Kukri. That triggered the bat as well. Beautiful. Alright, cool. Awesome. Alright, and that essentially was the only part really in Fort Faroth that we should actually be at any risk for. Now we just get ourselves the Dectus half here, and then we go ahead and get the Radagon Source Seal. And yeah, Fort Faroth is in the bag. Along with some extra money, if I'm not mistaken. Go grab this. Pop. Okay, cool. Easy Fort Faroth. Easy Fort Faroth. Alright. Now, with that done, now we can go ahead and go ride our cheeks on down to the Dragon Temple, and then in front of Castle Redmane. Go ahead and get all of that knocked out, get ourselves Cragblade and whatnot, and yeah. Overall, pretty good. Not too shabby. And again, as I previously stated, we are 24 minutes in right now, and we're already essentially done with two relatively scary checks. Or, yeah, two relatively scary moments for the run. So, like, Fort Height isn't really that bad in the grand scheme of things, but it's just enough that it can pose a real threat. And for that reason alone, it is something to respect at least a little bit. There we go. Not gonna lie, really didn't fucking like the fact that, like, Torrent decided to start glitching out there. I mean, I'm not surprised, I'm just mildly disappointed in the horse, as always. But otherwise, we got away with it, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so the first pickup is kind of worth it. The second pickup isn't really worth shit. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Oh, here it is. This is the Rune Arc. Okay, I mean, I could see that Rune Arc instead. I could see that being the Rune Arc that we go for. That's not a bad Rune Arc at all, and, I mean, we haven't really been so desperate for money that we've been selling our Somber Stones off at this point. Is it still nice to have the extra cash? Kind of. But it's not like they're worth a ton and a half. Even at +9s and whatnot, they're usually only like 1,500, I think, like at max 3,000, if I'm not mistaken. No, we do need this grace. This grace is important enough. Alright, ride ourselves wide enough here that we don't accidentally trigger this bird, because if this bird triggers, then we will have a bad time. Avoid it like the plague. Alright, there we go. Cool. We're essentially almost done with Caelid 1, though, which is nice. It's good to get Caelid 1 knocked out of the way. I might actually just keep the katana out at this point, because I've done this... I don't know, like, I'm just kind of feeling like between the two methods of riding, it generally felt safer to be slightly more stealthy here than to have the advantage of Beast Torch. I don't know, I just haven't really been seeing it with the Beast Torch quite as much. Alright, there we go. Grab this Grace before we move along. We're going to go ahead and go kill the Cragblade Scarab right now. And that way, we're essentially setting up for later on when we have our balls. Beautiful. Alright, we are hidden. I'm going to wait here 2 seconds and have a sip of my beverage while these guys are killing each other. It's not a ton of extra money, but it's a little bit of extra money to make up for the fact that I lost more kukri than I should have. Which brings me to my next point. We're probably going to go ahead and head into Weeping next, so I can use this money towards those lost kukri. I've kind of been shoving Weeping a little bit further off now, because Weeping is kind of a nice little extra destination you get to go to because you're set up at this point, and you can deal with all the small things. But because we kind of fucked up, we kind of need to come here a little earlier, just because getting those kukri back are going to be important at some point or another here. So it is important we get those. And getting that access, and likewise, this is also essentially covering the cost of a total, I think, of 5 extra Smithy 2s. And those Smithy 2s do come in handy. Those are what basically get us to enough for getting the +6 going. So, small things to cover, but all important for sure. Do not activate that troll. Alright, beautiful. Cool. Alright, we're gonna get this Grace, talk to this merchant for half a second, go ahead and get those kukri back that we're missing, and then we are off to the Weeping Beach. And hopefully with our extra Rolla fruit that we've been picking up here, we can kind of cover a little bit of that extra waste that unfortunately I'm responsible for now. We're only going to get 3 kukri. We don't need a lot. It's just unfortunate and important that we have them to pretty much guarantee that we're not fucking ourselves over later. So, I don't know why, but I suddenly thought I had not gotten that Grace. That would have been mildly unfortunate. I think we get enough kukri on this run that we don't really have to worry about it as badly as I once thought. There's actually like a decently large enough pile of kukri that we get both from Liurnia as well as from Stormvale. Both of those frankly cover that requirement. And then there's also a chance, at least in the old tunnel, that we do end up getting an extra kukri or 2. And if we end up getting them there, cool, nice. It's RNG entirely on whether or not we get them, but still, it's nice. So. Alright, so as stated before, we can essentially completely ignore that church up there, because the one thing that church did provide us was extra bleed grease, and on top of that, it provided us, like, a handful of blood grease, which, good, But now, because we just essentially just do Kenneth Heights, and we don't really need extra seeds, it's kind of doubly unimportant that we actually do that. So we don't bother with it at all. It's just not worth it. I thought I accidentally pulled aggro for something for a minute there. That would have been mildly annoying. Alright. I do bother with this tier. It's, again, it's really not that important. But I do bother with that tier in particular, just because it's not so far out of the way that it's an unreasonable ask of me. And likewise, it's actually safer for us to take that path anyways, so go ahead and put that on now. We will be buying this merchant's supply of Smithy 2s. And other than that, that's really the main reason we're here right now. So let me see what I can sell to him to make up that cost. Sell him that, and then I'm going to go ahead and sell up 2 of these. 1,200 should be enough to buy all 3. Beautiful. Okay, cool. And we're already at 6 total on our Smithy 2s, which is nice. That's halfway to our next weapon level. Okay, cool. Now we can go ahead and do the opposite route for Limgrave and knock out all the small branching paths for Limgrave, which is just nice. Keep the Beast Torch on for now. We may need it at some point here. It's not horribly important for us to have it on right this minute, but it is important all the same. So, wouldn't hate getting some extra skulls, admittedly. That actually would be kind of nice. I do kind of run a little tight to these trees here and whatnot, because there is, and I don't even want to fucking say it until I get right past this corner here, there is a small chance that that giant that was behind us there can end up doing a giant shout, and it can hit you from that distance. I've definitely been smacked by it before, and it sucks. Quite a lot, in fact. Don't even need this, but I'm going to pick it up anyways, because fuck it. I'm forgetting the term I'm looking for here, but when you fucking have to pick up legitimately everything around you. Not hoarding. Hoarding is a different version of that. It's like kleptomancy or something? No, that sounds like a casting type. Fucking blaming, it's klepto something, though. I'm 110% sure it's klepto something. Right here. There we go. Cool. Am I two-handing this katana right now? We're going to check before we get over to the lad that's over here, because I do not want to be one-handing. Yeah, there we go. Two-hand. Fixed. Awesome. We're doing slightly more damage. That's not going to really matter too much. It's nice, but it's not required, per se, because this guy is a 3-hit kill. I mean, it's technically a 4-hit kill, but it's 3-hit stun, and then he just fucking dies for it, because, well, yeah. Alright, let's go talk to our boy. Well, not talk to, but let's go sit awkwardly next to our boy Bernal and get that handled. This will also be a chance to get a couple more root resin. Really, we don't need any more than like 1 bit of root resin for the entire run as far as it stands. Like, I don't actually use bleed grease for anything else. It's actually kind of funny, like, bleed grease really, like, it's nice, but it really only has one opportunity to present itself in a meaningful way. And it's I don't know, like, I kind of appreciate the fact that, like, that's the only time that it gets to show up. It has its use for sure, but, like, yeah. Activate the balls. Normally I just kind of go for it there, but I am feeling less than frisky, so I'd prefer to avoid the situation of dying on the spot. Okay, alright, there's all of that. Go back to Bernal. We're going to loop around here. We're going to go to, go across the bridge, pick up a couple extra stones here. Then we're going to go over to the Artist Shack. And with the Artist Shack, I think that's all the stones that we will ultimately need in order to get our +3 requirement. So, that's nice. Surely there's got to be some people here who are just generally happy about the fact that Bernal, or not Bernal, that Alexander just gets to live now. Like, we don't have to murder Alexander at all anymore on this run because of how it functions, which, you know, I don't know. I would have to imagine there's some amount of appreciation for that fact. Oh, we're actually 1 stone short. What is our 1 stone we're missing? You know what? I'm gonna say it doesn't entirely matter. I can probably just go visit a merchant real quickly and buy one up real fast. So it's not that deep. It's not that deep. You know what it could have been? I think the last like 2 runs we were lucky enough to get 1 extra smithy stone from the lads, but we just have not gotten that luck on this one. So yeah. But still, honestly, it's fine. We're going to get 1 more here, and then we can just go visit a merchant real quickly and just cover that requirement that way. So, it's fine. It all pans out. Did I accidentally step on something there? What the fuck happened? What was that? Oh god, dragonfly. I am less than happy about dragonflies hunting me. Looks like they gave up. Good. Awesome. Cool. Let's go get the green turtle talisman real quickly. And then we can also get the graveyard that's right behind that. Then, at least once we're done with that, I think at that point, are essentially done with early game Limgrave, which is good. We'll still have a little bit more to... Well, we have more than enough to clear up, but we're essentially there now. We're essentially where we need to be. Alright, cool. That's 3 of our 4 most important talismans. Ash of War covered for the run. And a decent enough stockpile of extra money. Yeah. I guess at this point, let's just start heading into, Liurnia. Let's start covering our Liurnia, bullshit at this point. It does feel good, though. You know, honestly, I think more than anything, it does feel good to have, I don't know if I can say 110% consistency in terms of overall routing at this point, but at least I would say we're sitting probably at, like, maybe a solid, like, give or take 85-90% consistency at this point. Now, don't get me wrong, fucking Fort Height went completely tits up ass backwards the wrong direction, but I don't know, I would blame that more so on an ounce of de-rusting just shenanigans than anything else. Yeah, I would blame it on that. It was definitely skill issue more than anything else, but still, other than that, I think a lot of this has come together pretty smoothly, which is nice. There we go. Cool. Alright, we don't need it, but I do go ahead and just grab it because, well, it's right here, and it's not really in the way, but it's just enough in the way where it's like, fuck it. Plus, having our flask at +2 just essentially guarantees that if for some reason I have enough cash left over to upgrade Mind in the future here, I can do so and not have to overthink it. We don't normally run into situations where we're having to refill Mind during a fight scenario or anything like that. Or really at all, actually, because, well, if we're having that happen, then our buffing sequence just has gone wrong, pretty much, is what I would say. But other than that, really, I mean, like, it's all there. It really is. So...
Surprise no matter. Why don't... Oh, but don't...
Brother acts as if, though, he's in, like, some hidden little nook and cranny over here, but, no, he's not. He's legitimately nowhere secretive whatsoever. So I really don't know what he's on about, but he sure is on about it. Alright, there we go. Like I said, 1 stone there, 3 right there. We only need 1 more stack of 2s, and we're good on our 2s. And we'll get those from the gazebo on our way past Adula. And then we already have what we need for that. So we're essentially ready. We're essentially ready to move on into, to move into Altus. So that's nice. It's really nice, actually. I do try to ride slightly outside of the general path here, because the general path is actually fairly dangerous. There's just enough of these little gremlins here that if one of them gets just a lucky shot, well, then that's a huge fucking disappointment at that point. Alright, run over here. Collect this 1 bitty bit of cash. Run around the corner. Rose, there we go. 1 smithy 3. And we are on our way. Very nice. I'll take this as an opportunity to get a sip of my drink. Okay, cool. Alright. There we go. Go ahead and unequip the torch for right now. We are going to need the flail coming up here pretty shortly. And we're just going to go ahead and book our cheeks on over towards Mr. Big Balls himself. It is time to put Mr. Big Balls in the grave. And I'm just going to ignore this crab. I have decidedly, I don't need the stones that crab provides. It's just not worth it. Likewise, I think I'm going to ignore that seed right there, because it is also just my fucking... my desire to collect kicking in at maximum speeds. And otherwise, I don't fucking need it. But I am still going to walk this way and collect the map, because I need the fucking map. Alright? Okay. There we go. I need you, and then I will need you. I figured, honestly, it doesn't really hurt for me to mark them both off immediately, because, I mean, I have to go both ways anyways, so just do it, pretty much. Alright, we have everything that we need, so we shouldn't have any problems here. It should just be as simple as spinning a chain. Go. Beautiful. And off to Raya. And at this point, we can go ahead and put up the flail and pick up the balls. And because we don't have to come back here for any reason, we don't really have to get graces for some reason, so we're good to go. We're fine.
Hello. Hello. Please. Hell, it's rather my mistress. But I was a. Could I ask that thug only if you've. Oh, to bless a thug, please. Please. Oh, thank you, kind. Did I forget? I see you are very to steady such. Please. For most time, you are a volcano.
Okay, there's that. Awesome. Remove the marker. And now we can go ahead and do our secondary loop around the area. It's actually kind of funny now I'm thinking about it, because it really, ultimately, what our run kind of comes down to, is we end up doing, essentially, a loop, and a loop, a loop, and another loop. So it really, it becomes, well, I know that one's not very loopy, obviously, in Caelid, but it's fucking Caelid, so, you know, what do you want? It's Caelid. Caelid does not have standard loops. It has asinine BM across the board. But either way, point still stands. You take two paths, and you move on to the next area. You take two paths, you move on to the next area. So I guess in a weird way, like, I do kind of find that that's just kind of charming, the fact that our run, more or less, has turned into, you take two paths, and you keep moving. There is a level of charm, I think, to that for me. Don't get stuck on the fucking rock, you stinky horse. You goofball goober. I do take a wide berth here, because I don't want to risk one of those blue mage flowers fucking me up anyways. Funny enough, I don't actually think I know what those ones are called specifically. I don't know if they're named the same as the other flowers in this case. I kind of imagine they wouldn't be, just because they are different. But at the same time, I don't know, like, it's totally possible that they're... I mean, they're essentially the same, but different, right? Alright, we have our bow out, we have our arrows, we have everything that we need. I'm still gonna get these +3s that are over here, because honestly, I don't know, I've gotten consistent enough about it that it seems safe enough. Line up that shot. Y'all yeet 'em. Right on in there. Grab that. I wouldn't say I really need these lilies that are over here. I just kind of do that at this point as just kind of like a routing thing, really. It just seems to be the safest way for me to get the hell out of Dodge as quickly as possible. So, I take it. Don't want to be too close to these lads, because that one was definitely a balloon with the arrow mannequins, and the arrow mannequins are the only ones... Well, they're all dangerous, I should say. But the arrow mannequins and the spear mannequins are hands down the most dangerous of the lot. Beautiful, okay. Cool, there's all of that extra juicy money. And we can go ahead and move on our way. Awesome, very good. I don't know. I do like the route though. I do like the route a lot actually at this point. It's been a lot of fun getting a lot of this figured out and getting all these little things kind of put together in such a way that like I essentially have a lot of this baseline down at this point. So It's pretty enjoyable. It's pretty enjoyable having such a comprehensive look at the game that I, generally speaking, have a way of getting around a lot of this shit without having to, without really having to deal with too much. Really didn't need that extra root resin, but I was feeling frisky apparently, so I picked it up anyways. And I guess at this point I am picking up extra Roa fruit regardless, because, I mean, fuck it, it's in front of me, and the OCD is wonderful. Hey Esteban, welcome to the chat. You really want to help me? Well, if it's in terms of helping me with a no-hit run, then I hate to tell you this, but I'm not admittedly taking help on this run. This run is essentially all me in this case, but I certainly appreciate the offer. Okay, there we go. Cool. Alright, so next up, we get to Altus, we go ahead and completely ride our shit around, and we go up to the old tunnel. We stop short of old tunnel, though, because we need to level up our balls just a little bit, as well as getting, like, a baseline of setup done. So that way, when we go into old tunnel, we can kill the things in there without having to think about it much. Technically speaking, our katana can actually do the work required for the, I forget what the small ambush dudes' names are, but we can handle that. But the miners in this case, yeah, we really don't. We don't play games with the miners. The miners are, in fact, a little too dangerous for that. Which is funny. They're not actually dangerous at all. It's just the fact that they have the ability to poise through shit that makes them mildly concerning. Being able to poise through shit and also having, like, one or two really quick jabs, it barely matters on a normal playthrough, but obviously in our context, it is a game ender. So, disappointing. I think I've gotten, like, a handful of hits from the miners. I've learned my lesson, luckily, from them since, but I still have to have at least a relative amount of, like, respect for them before I run into those scenarios. Otherwise, I'd fucking do stupid shit. I think that's kind of been one of the biggest learning lessons, is learning to have respect for even small enemies. I don't like having respect for a lot of the small enemies, in all seriousness, but at the same time, I really have to. Alright. I was thinking of doing something here that I haven't done before, but I think I'm gonna just do what I do naturally. Normally speaking, I just run right past these tree senties up here. I was thinking of letting them do a little bit of walking forward, essentially, to just see if, like, hey, I can avoid aggro altogether. Last time was too close, I would say, but at the same time, they don't normally aggro nearly fast enough to be a problem. I wonder if running more against that wall will actually help my situation. I mean, wouldn't say it helped, but kinda. It did something. I would say it did something. Okay, there we go. Okay. Off to round table. That felt good. That felt really tight, really efficient.
I can take gathering. Very let my hand.
Okay, cool. Alright. Now, time to go buy the dagger, buy... I guess, I feel like we may have a little bit more cash than usual, so we can probably buy the seal along with right now, I would say. Buy the dagger, buy the seal. There we go. Offer bell bearing. We don't have one to offer yet. We're about to have 2 to offer, ultimately. We're going to level our balls up as much as we can. I'll go ahead and offhand my balls for right now. Put the dagger in my main hand. Good to go. Cool.
No matter how you...
Right, I am in fact a little bit poor right now. I should probably keep that in mind. That should be enough to get my balls moving in the right direction. Do that. Do that. Awesome. Alright, balls. Up to +7 on balls. There we go. Nice. And now we are going to go ahead and get our flasks set up, and we're also going to get ourselves leveled up enough here so that we're at a natural 19 for strength. And that'll put us on pace for everything that we need to get done at this point. So... Alright, physique time, that, and that. Awesome. Alright, we're at 16. A little bit more needed, and we can get there. 3K... Oh, yeah, I guess we never used our Lands Between rune. Huh, weird. I don't know why, I just never assumed that the Lands Between rune would be its own separate category from the 3K rune, but also, yeah, duh, obviously it would be. That makes too much sense. Just shy of what we need. I know it's cheap, but, like, I am gonna go ahead and just sell off two plant lives. 2 bits of plant life, so that way I can just cover the cost requirement that way. It's not that deep, but it's just enough where I'd rather not have to overthink it. Which is ironic, because in theory I am essentially overthinking it by doing exactly what I just did, so... so that way I don't fuck up. I do want balls to be actually in my main hand here. We shouldn't actually be kukriing at all for Old Tunnel. In theory, at least. So we should be okay. We should be okay. Alright, there we go. Cool. Alright, let's go handle this Old Tunnel, and then after Old Tunnel is done, we can actually start doing some murder. Yippee! Yahoo! I was about to check and see how much time I've spent, but let me do it here. Right, we're essentially almost an hour in at this point, and I mean, overall setup-wise, like, once we get done with the extra bit of setup that I have left, we essentially go into boss rush mode. We really do. We go into boss rush mode for at least a little bit. So, honestly, not too bad. We've more or less shaved down a lot of our setup into 1 hour. I'm gonna get this Grace just in case, because I have been known to fuck things up before. Flask, Golden Vow, Crag on my balls. Alright, run on in here. This lad right here. Bop. I think in this case if I just... Yeah. Beautiful. Running over to this lad. Bop. Steal the 1 Smithy 5. Run back over here. Walk over to this lad. Bop. Break his spine. Did not give us any free extra stones there. A little disappointing, but it's okay. Huh? Oh, what a sweetheart. Gave us an extra Smithy 5. Nice. Technically, that means that we don't need that one extra Smithy 5 for later, but we might still end up getting it, because it's just so in the way, and it's a little bit less cost in the grand scheme of things, so that's nice. But cool. Alright, there is what we need for that. We're going to go ahead and run out of this cave here, and we are going to go ahead and get our balls up to +9. I think I am going to need to pop a little bit of extra money here, grand scheme of things, because I'm going to need... Let's see, I don't know how many stones I need specifically, actually, for the 3s right now, but we'll find out. We'll find out. It's fine. Okay. There we go. Currently at 3, I've already done my 2 requirements, so we think we need another 7 in this case. Yeah, that's exactly right. And... I mean, I'm already here, so I'll go ahead and just buy my 4s, but I'm not gonna use them up yet. All right, another 2 4s, and that is all of that. Sorry, how much am I looking at here per stone? 900 apiece. Okay, cool. Alright, 1 2K covers the requirement. Yeah, okay. We're gonna need to do this one point or another, regardless, but it's just kind of nice getting it knocked out of the way now. So that way I'm not having to make multiple trips back to that exact merchant. So... It's gonna, like, we're gonna have to go back there at some point regardless, but it's nice to just kind of say, hey, we don't have to do it right this minute. So. I don't know if that's enough to cover the cost in this case. Well, it was almost enough to cover both costs, but that's at least a chunk covered, so that's something. And I think we can use that to cover the rest of it, yeah? There we go. +9, heavy balls. We're good to go. Okay. Alright. Now, time to go kill Bernal. It's Bernal murdering time. And yet again, it spawns me in at nighttime. I think they do, in fact, make that happen just because they want you to be in a situation where you're going to accidentally spawn in the nighttime boss here. I think that's exactly why. It just seems like that would be the case. Because otherwise you probably wouldn't ever encounter the nighttime boss here. Anyways, big meaty punch, 2-hand. And there we go. Did I do Radon yet? Not yet, Zanes. Radon is... I would say give or take, Radon's probably like maybe 30 minutes out right now. I'm guesstimating, of course, but still. Alright. Now, with Bernal dead, we're going to real quickly go level our balls up to +12. After Altus? I mean, yeah, I know you can do him after Altus, but he's still probably about 30 minutes out right now on our current run. Alright, there we go. +12. Don't accidentally put the 5s in there. I'm glad I didn't have enough money for that. That would have been an unfortunate mistake, for sure, but one we could have recovered from, so. And right now we're still just kind of in the midst of doing setup and whatnot, so. Alright, drop down there. Slip right over this ledge, drop down here. Torrent takes some damage because Torrent is a silly, silly fucking horse. No, definitely. Definitely, Zanes. I mean, hey, if you learn something from the experience, then awesome. Wait for that banner. There it is. Run. And there's Nezris sent home. Beautiful. So, in all seriousness, Zane, if things go correctly, there will not be a second phase for Radon. If things go correctly, there will be no second phase for him. Yeah, he kind of gets decimated by a correct run. Or pretty much pretty close to decimated. So. Gotcha. Cool beans, Zane. Alright, run on in here. Flask. Golden Vow dagger equipped. Golden Vow active. And Crag on my balls. Alright, here he comes.
The gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin.
I missed the opportunity to do it there. Kind of dumb on my part.
Wait, please.
That was not how that was supposed to happen, but it worked out. I was supposed to backstab there, and the backstab did not go off.
What a shit show.
Do really well. Yeah, you're doing no ox, no leveled weapons, no buffs, no tallies, that's why. Okay. Then admittedly, and I hate to say this, Zane, but you may not necessarily... Here's the thing, you may get some bits, at least for first phase, that'll make first phase maybe a little bit easier, grand scheme of things. But second phase, admittedly, does not exist on this run, if things go properly. So I will say that. Now that being said, honestly, there is some pretty cool tech during first phase, to kind of melt him pretty easily. In this case, so you're not doing any auxiliaries, so you're just doing base damage. What is your weapon that you're using for this run in this case? Hopefully things go not properly, Lil. I'm gonna be real with you, Zane. I'm really hoping you're wrong on that one, because in this case, I do need them to go at least somewhat properly for me. You're using the basic axe. Okay, gotcha. No auxiliary effects, basic axe, and you're not leveling at all for it.
Give me your... I will pray.
I'm not sure, man. I'm trying to think about it, but like, see, that's the problem. Is what you're doing right now is yours is less of a no hit run, but like you kind of have to do no hit almost because of how you have it set up.
I am Tanit, Rias, a warrior, perhaps. Rise with us. Now you but the drawing, but be sure.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. And I hate to say it, but honestly, it may just be one of those things of... I know that there's definitely people out there who have done the run before. I have not personally done the run before. I have a decent pile of experience for Radon, but... yeah, even then. Hey, Reese. Thank you. Hope you're doing well tonight. First phase, you got it mastered down to a teeth. Every move straight perfectly. Second phase with the gravity attacks, not faced enough to know it perfectly. So this might be a little cheesy to recommend, but there is one thing I couldn't maybe recommend about second phase. You could try... Well... God, it's kind of hard, because in this case... Second phase, one of two options usually happens when you run far enough away from him on Torrent, right? Option one is that he essentially does his little gravity balls, launches them at you, and tries to bring you back in. And option two is that he does the, like, charging slam attack thing that he does. The charging slam attack thing, I think, is what I was trying to recommend in this case, but you're still kind of working downhill. I'm not too sure about second phase for you. I'm really not. I think we need a decent pile of cash. You know, it doesn't really matter right now, because even if we overuse, or, use too many runes here, we can still recover pretty easily. Anyways, Bernal Bell Bearing turned in, Patches Bell Bearing gets turned in. Patches, we get our Foulfoot, we get that. Awesome, cool. Bernal, we go on into Bernal's shop. We get Assassin's Gambit, and we are cooking. I guess the only annoying attack is the crossing as arms delayed gravity. Yeah, the delayed gravity is pretty... It's pretty bad. The jump, for some reason. The jump... So what I normally do for the jump, at least, is I normally... And I'm assuming it's the large jump where he, like, runs away and then he charges at you and he sends the large beam at you. Is that the one? Or, like, the large, like, ground wave at you? Because if it's that one, I usually hop on Torrent, run away from it, and then hop over it. That is usually consistent for me. I need to put on Assassin's Gambit. Do that. Do this. Yes, when he hits the ground wave. So, yeah. I normally, when he does that one, I normally just hop on Torrent and I jump over it with Torrent. The other thing I think you can technically do, too, is you can try and use Torrent to iframe it. I don't really care to do that one as much, because, I don't know, it just feels... Unless I'm specifically going for cheese, then it doesn't really... I don't know, I just don't get anything out of it. Anyways... Just a second here, I have to think for a minute and make sure I'm good to go. I think I am. Alright. Let's go deal with Margit. Oh. That's the one thing I forgot to do. Okay. There we go. And then I do want the Foulfoot in place, but it's not important for now. It'll be important later. Alright, stop about right here. With this setup, you could probably do no rolling against Radahn. Probably, yeah. Like, in all seriousness, there's certain setups that you could probably just absolutely fucking tank through Radahn. Granted, the one thing I'll say about doing anything tanking through Radahn is that... did they follow me enough? They did kind of follow me enough. Okay, alright. So just step inside the boss arena. Do that. Do that. Two-hand crag on my balls. Rechug. And there we go. Okay, cool. Time to merc. Alright, run up. Deleted. Old man. Beautiful. Okay.
Smoldering with thy meager flame. Cower in fear of the night. The hand. It's tight. The guard you breached. Well, but of course.
Alright, main gate access. There we go. Cool. Alright, spend this 14k real quickly, and then we're just going to go ahead and run through the area. $24. Awesome. Slice my hand real quickly. Okay, cool. I'm not doing ROL. No, I'm not doing rune level 1. No. This is an any % no-hit run. Or at least, you know, assuming that it ends up getting to that point, then yes, it will be no-hit. But this is any % no-hit practice. That. Throw this right here. Right on past these lads. Okay. Alright, there we go. A standard Geno run, I guess. Yeah, fair enough. Like, I've seen plenty of Geno, and I kind of wanted to finally get myself into the realm of doing no-hit myself, because I've done plenty of no-death before, and I just honestly was like, you know what, it only makes sense, reasonable next expectation would be. And I've never done no-hitting before, so I just wanted to fucking try it, make it happen. I've been having fun with it. I think I have more fun with no-death runs overall, admittedly, but I think it's just because it's a little bit more freeform, a little bit more, like, the stakes in this case feel sillier, almost, but it's been fun. It's been fun. I can't complain. Run past the pot brothers. Grab pot. Steal pot. The Grundler gets his pot every time. So, yeah. I don't think there's any... No, I can't level up anymore right now. That's fine. We don't need to. Alright, we have essentially everything I think that we need right now, so we're good to go. Two-hand, crag on my balls, and away we go. Alright, Godric, good RNG, buddy. Okay, good RNG. I was about to throw miserably there. Are you fucking kidding me? I got caught in the crevasse. I got caught in the crevasse. And now my fucking stun is deleted. Alright, hopefully that doesn't accidentally... Okay, good. Man, really fucking tried to dick me over there. Fucking silly-ass little crevasse here. I mean, it worked out. He gave us good attacks afterwards, but, like, he really was about to throw the run for us. I'm not surprised, just... Goddamn. Thanks, Godric. Real cool. Very funny. I do need to level up... I do need to level up my faith twice. Good RNG, not gonna lie. I mean, overall, yeah. If he had done the wind tunnel, which I luckily don't normally see him do the wind tunnel, but if he had done the wind tunnel attack, then yeah, that would have been pretty pretty buns, pretty bad time. So we did get lucky on certain capacities, but anywho, here's the fucking bridge. Surely bridge will go well this time. Surely. Alright, slice now. Talk about fucking buns, though, admittedly, Zanes. This bridge... So, we had a run come all the way up to this bridge the other night, and I'm gonna point it out when we get here. Hang on. Reslice my hand. Little preemptive there. Just essentially have it ready so that way I can run right through here. So this little sconce right here, right? You figure, okay, well the sconce, if it gets hit by an arrow, it's not going to be an issue, right? Oh my god, the fucking golem. No, it turns out that little shockwave just went right through it. I do not trust this angle. He is holding a whack-ass angle. Not worse than Gino dying to Gostok 2 times in a row. No, that was a skill issue. That was a skill issue. Let's be real here. That's not fair of me, actually, at all. It was horribly unfortunate, but also, like, that was... I would argue that that was just, like, raw fucking comedy at that point. What happened to Gino was bad. But it was a travesty that was just kind of funny. To be fair, he should have just done like I did and just said, you know what, why would I fight Gostok? Gostok's actually the Elden Lord. You don't fight the Elden Lord like that. That's crazy. Shouldn't do that. That was a bad time, though. That was for sure bad. And funny as hell, can't even... Just got caught 2 times. Yeah, no, honestly, that's exactly it. Just... Legitimately, just the fact that he got fucking weapon bonked 2 times in a row like that, just fucking like that, that's so disappointing. That is so... Like, you can't even be mad with the game at that point. You just have to be mad with yourself. Really. Because it's legitimately like, if you had just not done that, it would have been fine, right? Then again, I also gotta say this. I mean, Gino's just got, like, legitimately so much fucking patience. He has got so much patience. I would have been thoroughly pissed in either of those circumstances. So, honestly, GG's to him, the fact that he can have so much patience for that kind of stuff. I don't think I've ever seen him once throw a controller or get genuinely, like, furious or mad or anything like that. And I don't know, I guess that probably is a portion of the equation for doing no-hits and whatnot. You just kind of accept what it is what it is, and you move on. I think that's definitely been an experience for me, too. He's definitely the greatest Souls player of all time for a reason. Yeah, no, honestly, like, legitimately, I don't even think that opinion's subjective at all. I think that's pretty damn objective. There might be a handful of players out there that I think, like, match pace, roughly. But none that have done exactly what Gino's done. Like, Gino... I would honestly say Gino is probably part of my inspo for trying to even do no-hitting at this point, so... Part of the reason why he's so good is just the fact that he just is generally apathetic. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't say apathy is exactly it. I would say it's just... He's just got such a perfectly level head about shit that it goes in one ear, out the other for him, and it brushes over him like nothing. I would say that he probably cares to some extent, or else he wouldn't have an entire, like, career based around it, but... I would also say I think he puts genuinely so many hours into the games that, yeah, I would hope, after so much time put into the games, that, yeah, he would have that much skill. Slice my hand one more time here. Actually, that was really bad time for Assassin's Gambit to wear off. Luckily, it doesn't matter here, but still. It's really just for that one white dog right there. I don't even know why I got that grace, actually, now I'm thinking about it, because I don't really need that grace. Reapply assassins real quickly. I always feel bad for my characters during this run, because it just... I'm literally slicing my hand open so fucking frequently. Maybe to even a point to where it's just not really required, but I still do. Yeah, eat them. Alright. And guess what time it is? Yep, that's right, it's time to slice my hand open. For the fucking most busted ability in the entire game. I actually, at some point here, really do want to do a, essentially like a, oh my god, fucking terrible torrent jump off there. I'm really glad that it didn't, affect me, but still. I want to do, like, a stealth run, though. Like, a genuine, true stealth run of this game. Something like what you would find out of, like, Metal Gear Solid. Because, honestly, I just think that that would be a lot of fun. Like, imagine, essentially, like, European Extreme, if you get caught by any of the enemies, you just insta-die on the spot because of them. I think that'd just be... I don't know. I'd like that a lot. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Okay. Balls are leveled. Balls are leveled. There we go. We're good to go. Okay. Alright. It is essentially Radon time. Essentially. Seen somebody fight PCR for 3 hours flawlessly, no hit, no ux, no nothing, fists only. Has to be the greatest achievement in Souls. While I would agree with you, I would consider that feat fucking Sisyphean. Cause like that... Man... PCR is not even really a good boss. No, honestly, no. Before patch or after patch, I don't really think it matters. I just don't think PCR is a good boss. I think PCR is miserable. Is that enough to get one level squeaked out? Might be. No, I'm a little short. Okay. I can respect the player who did that for sure. I just honestly... I wish them better tidings in the future. Level of consistency you need for 3 hours to not get hit. No, honestly, you're exactly right. Like, I am not downplaying their achievement at all. More than anything, honestly, it's just, they did that, and that is beyond impressive. Like, that is a level of dedication that is genuinely quite serious. Well, you know what, actually, hang on. I am going to get this grace only because I did think about it last time. And in theory, if something goes wrong enough, we're just going to warp out of Arena. That way we can hopefully avoid losing the fight entirely. Alright, we have our flask, we have our balls, we have everything we need, essentially. Alright.
But now.
I was worried for 2 seconds because I didn't get the actual emote from him there. So I wasn't sure if the gate was going to be locked. I think I remember in like an earlier patch you had to let him finish his dialogue completely, or it just would be locked and you wouldn't be able to actually get to the boss. Never seen even Gino do that? Yeah. One that I've been watching here recently, Scumnut. Scumnut's got some fucking dedication on him from what I've seen. Scumnut's definitely got some dedication. Alright, there we go. Yep, it is Radon time, baby! Alright. Good RNG? Bad RNG? Good RNG. Little sad about the multiple whiffs there, but whatever. Roll in front, run behind. Okay. That's a lot of health for second phase, admittedly. Like, that actually is really bad. Almost want to reset for that exact reason. You motherfucker. Oh. See, I should have reset. I should have reset. I made the mistake of not resetting there, and I fucking took a hit for it, because if I had done it correctly, I would have never seen any more of second phase other than the fucking meteor shit, but... oh well. I guess we're still working for a PB at least tonight, so that's something. God damn it. Fucking Radon. Like, I can't exactly be surprised, but yeah. Damn happens. Yeah, no, it does. It does happen. I'm not actually, like, that pissed about it, grand scheme of things. It's just, keep in mind, hour 30 essentially gone down the drain because, well, Radon got a cheeky one in. And the funny part is, it really was essentially a cheeky. Now imagine I'm doing this with no ox, no rolling, no tally, no buffs. Then it sounds pretty miserable, admittedly. Like, honestly, after a certain point, that just sounds miserable. Okay. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and get our third talisman slot, level up, and we're gonna go get our ritual sword talisman, and then we are off to do whatchamacallit, Draken. Get to phase 2 after 2 minutes. 5 minutes? My bad. There we go. I also forgot to pop a foul foot on that one, which was a little annoying, but oh well. That's honestly just because I fucking froze up there. Still almost flawless. Yeah. The problem is I can see the very, like, exact moments where I fucked up. If I hadn't whiffed on 2 of my punishes there, then we would have gotten the stun in first phase. And even if we didn't get the crit in first phase, we would have still probably done enough damage to put him in second phase with very low health, to where when he did that transition, he would have essentially just died. In this case, I don't know, like, I can't even say that was, like, a lack of practice. I think that was just honestly skill issue, frankly, at that point. I dropped the ball. I'm like, it's okay. It'll get there, but still. Nevertheless, just don't let it fucking control the rest of the run, I guess, is really what it comes down to. So we don't actually need this grace this time, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Because we have the stones that we already need, so we're good to go. We don't need anything extra from over here, so we're essentially good to go. We don't need this. We could just essentially book it right on over to whatchamacallit at this point. To Dragon Sentinel. Alright, I am going to real quickly make the quick detour to go grab this one extra 5. We already have the 5 that we need to get Starfists up to plus 13, so we don't need this inherently, but it's nice to have it. Alright, run over this hill. You know, actually, I know exactly what I'll blame it on. I'll blame it on Skyrim. I've been playing too much fucking Skyrim lately. I should be playing more Elden Ring. That's my problem. I've been having fun again with Skyrim, honestly, because it's like that seasonal addiction, more or less. Like, you get Minecraft and whatnot in your system, and you just have to fucking play it because, well, yeah, the season is just essentially calling for it, really. That's essentially where I am right now. Like, and I've been having fun with the Skyrim run again. I'm doing the classic, the basic bitch, with all the stealth builds. Such a cool game. Can't get to another game, to be honest. Yeah, that's fair. No, honestly, that is fair. Like, Elden Ring is an insanely cool game. Like, it's. I forgot to get the Ritual Sword Talisman. Oh well, whatever. We'll get it after Dragon. Surely the 10% extra damage that we're missing out on here isn't going to completely control this. Alright, there we go. Chug, chug. Two-hand. Crag on my balls in the corner. Golden Vow. And Flame. It shouldn't control this so badly that we need it desperately. Yeah, exactly. It's not even close. Still gonna need to go and get Ritual Sword now, admittedly, but yeah, that's how that fight should have gone. It was technically, I think, like, slightly more precarious, because normally I think that last attack I did there wasn't required, but still. Just a DTS after all. Exactly. Like, it's just DTS. It's nothing major. Not a hard boss. That's this one. Alright, let's go murder Gillica. Technically, our Gillica here should be even slightly better, because now we have more damage. But I don't really fucking need it, but yeah, we have it now. We have it! Alright, chug. And yes, I am going to buff anyways, because fuck it, why not? The sooner she dies, the faster we get on with our lives. Alright, run on in there, right against this leg. And cooked. Beautiful. Okay, Ritual Sword acquired. Beautiful. And that might have been enough cash to get one more level in. I don't know if I need it, but at the same time, fuck it. Actually, was it? You know what? No, yeah, actually it was. Okay. Alright, then yeah, I'll put it in right now, why not? Flat 50 strength. And then with our bonuses, I think right now we're up to 70 strength total at the moment when we buff. So, not too bad. So I've been playing through a lot of well, I say a lot of older games here lately, but I've been playing through a lot of my my childhood games more or less lately, including a couple of the newer ones from some of the new games that they've released. Which not all of them are bad. I think actually some of them are really good for the most part. Okay, so we're gonna do that and do that. There we go. Which I've been happy about. I think it's been really fun getting to play through a lot of them. But I think one of the ones I'm actually, like, mildly disappointed about, and this is not a childhood game, keep in mind, but this is from the games from my childhood, as one of the Ratchet and Clank games that came out. It's the last one that came out. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I hate to say that I feel mildly disappointed in the end product of it, because it's just unfortunately not a very good game, I would say. I love Ratchet and Clank, and I love the overall gameplay loop for it and everything. You motherfucker, you. The first time I decide to look back, the only time I decide to look back there... Oh, well, whatever. Fuck it. If it's not something, it's something else. Just goes to show that, honestly, this section still apparently needs practice. Anyways, long story short, yeah, I got hit. Unfortunately. Really stupid fucking hit, too. One of the bubble blowing bubble babies got a freebie on me. So... Which is funny, too, because I've done this run, at this point, like, guaranteed, like, a good chunk of times. And it has not been an issue? But I just find it funny that naturally today is the day where it's like, what if it was an issue today, though, actually? Just in case. Man, I love whiffing. That's so cool. Okay, to be fair, I deserve that. I got punished. I got punished for it. Be happy it's only Lane Bell. Tell you what, I'm gonna be less happy about it. Because now I got a fucking Tree Guardian that's deciding to spam the one shittiest attack. Yes, I can, okay. Alright. Fucking hate resetting this stupid tree. Oh my god, stupid tree. That's a dumb hit, too. To be fair, that one was entirely... That was 1,010% on me. I should have never gotten hit there, but I fucking did. Alright, there we go. Tree spawns in. Gorgeous. See, that's how it should have gone. But for some fucking weird-ass reason, apparently I didn't do enough damage. Oh well. Tonight is not the night. Unfortunate. A disappointment, truly. We're gonna get through Piss Godfrey, and then I think I'm gonna step away for a minute and get a bev. Walk a little faster, thank you. We may not necessarily finish tonight's run up. We'll see. We'll see. In this case, like, I think, where am I at right now? I currently probably have a maybe guaranteed like another half an hour to run for tonight. So, in this case, we'll see what we can get done in half an hour. In theory, kind of a lot, but it just kind of depends. Oh, we haven't gotten the 1-2 bell bearing yet. Alright. That is one thing I'm gonna have to go and take care of. Ah, thank you, Zane. I appreciate it. And yeah, like, look, honestly, when I don't really honestly rage that much for all it's worth. But the run that I had that made it to the mountaintop of giants without a single fucking hit for Borealis to go and completely meme on the situation. Admittedly, you imagine that I would probably rage at least a little bit there, but like guaranteed, I let out like half a sigh. I let out like half a sigh on that one, man. I'm gonna post that actually soon here, because like it is painful. It is genuinely painful. I made it to Mountaintop of the Giants, no hits at all. And fucking Borealis. I've dealt with Borealis probably like 1,000+ times more in Elden Ring as a whole. Never a single bad second of RNG from him, except for when I'm fighting him. But otherwise, if I just run past, it's like he always does his little growl, "Arr, angry," and then you just run right past him, because it's like, why would I fucking fight the dumb ice dragon? This one time, I'm doing no hits and everything, he just said, hey, what if I actually just flew right into the air and immediately breathed down upon you? Like, would you like that? Would that be fun? You know, quick little bit of my breath? Yeah. Like, Gina completed a god run and went, there we go. That's exactly it. That's the give and take of it, right? I know, what is it, Hob? I think Hob has some pretty, Hob usually, I think, has some pretty, flamboyant overall reactions, usually speaking. Hob has some pretty, flamboyant, reactions. Same with, Aggie, but Aggie doesn't really partake too much in it. Funny enough, I think after he stopped being quite as reactionary, that's when he started actually being pretty damn good at it. But yeah. What was I going to do? There we go, and there we go. Okay, cool. Oh, well, I'm not a fan of being here with no flask, but I guess we're doing this no flask. Well, I mean, maybe our... No, I can't tell actually right now. It looks like maybe our flask is still active, in theory. Oh well, it's fine. I'm sure it won't matter. It's only Piss Godfrey. It's only Piss Godfrey. And of course he's setting me up for failure immediately. Do it again, though. Yeah, now, see, this is fine. This is fine. This is actually easy. Yeah, nah, that wasn't even a problem. See? Easy. Okay. There we go. Green turtle on. Awesome. Awesome. Put this on real quickly, because we have one thing to handle here, and then we'll also need to swap in Margit Shackle. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Honestly, that's exactly it. Having too much reaction is definitely just not the correct way. Which I would say, honestly, is probably why Gino definitely got the God run. I wouldn't say he did it. I imagine it was hard for him. Because, I mean, you're talking... That should be hard, right? But he did it with such a way that I would say that is like... It almost feels like it was easy for him. Because it might as well have just been breathing for him, right? Okay. Strength. There we go. Cool. I was about to make a mistake. I was about to make a sizable enough mistake there. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I guess there was one reason to get that grace, wasn't there? Huh. Oh well, we're here now. I can just run it around the other way. Fuck it. Nah, I mean we'll still go through the gates and everything, but it's just gonna take like a handful of extra seconds is really what it comes down to. I should have done this earlier, technically speaking, but it doesn't really matter now. Oh, you know what? Shit, yeah, I did say after Piss Godfrey I was gonna go refill my beverage. I will do that after Crystallian, I think. Or after... okay, you know what? I'll do it after... No, I'm gonna do it after Crystallian. There's still a little bit of work to be done before we actually fight Morgott, technically speaking, so... I'll do it after that. Oh, God, I fucking hate these stairs every single time. Oh. No. 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 Fuck these stairs. I fucking hate the stairs so much. Oh my god. It really wouldn't be that bad if Torrent didn't, God, what's the word? Suck horribly. Like, if Torrent was, like, a more reasonable mount overall, this would never really be... This wouldn't be stressful, honestly. It just wouldn't. And, like, I guess in theory, I could technically just say, fuck it, I don't have to include Torrent here. I can just, you know, run down on my own accord. But, nevertheless, Torrent. Okay, so, I don't know how you feel about this, Zanes, but... And I don't know if you follow the lore actually that deeply with this game and whatnot, but I still feel just weird in the grand scheme of things about how the game overall turned out in the DLC for the lore. It felt so weird when they decided to Griffith Mikola. Like, I mean, like, I know the essence was there, like, they were kind of like, hey, this can be a thing that we can do with it, but I don't know, like, I guess I just kind of really wish they had not done that, admittedly. I did not care for them doing the Griffith route with Mikola, I really didn't. I almost would have preferred, like, some sort of intermediary where it's like, yes, Mikola isn't perfect for the Lands Between, but he is a solid enough option. But, I don't know, maybe when you come along, he's like, okay, I respect it, fight me for the best option, I guess. Mikola, it turns out, is an evil guy all along. Yeah, honestly, I didn't care for that at all. I really did not. It felt so hammy. It felt like they were looking for a reason to make it a Mikola option, or to make it a Griffith, and they found it, pretty much. And, like, technically, yeah, you can say from the base game the options were always there, but I don't know, it felt forced. It felt forced. So... break that old man's spine, beautiful. Throw one more kukri up there so that way that old man stays distracted. Bad news for you, old man. NyQuil DM! NyQuil PM for you. I don't really need these stones, it's just nice to have some extra ones so I don't have to, like, spend all my money. Just, you know, most of it. I hate to say it, honestly, Zanes, but to a certain extent, maybe your best overall option for your run in this case is a weapon that has a faster swing speed. Because you're not doing any auxiliaries, and I'm assuming in this case, like, no procs, obviously. So you're not using anything like, you're not using Radagon Source Seal or anything like that. What talismans in this case would you be able to use that would be beneficial to you, I wonder? I mean, Ritual Sword is always usually beneficial, right? Mikola the Kind is his official godhood title. Insane. TBH. Yeah. Especially considering, like, actually, in a cultural sense, the difference between, like, nice and kind. Nice is very... From how I've had it described to me, nice is very much so like a, hey, oh, that's nice. You know, it's very passive. It's a fleeting example of kindness. Whereas kind is something that is just, that is a part of a person. That is who they are. They are not, you know, nice to people for a little bit and then not nice to others. They're just good to everybody, pretty much. At least, you know, if you're breaking down, like, linguistic terms and whatnot. I don't know. I think another thing, too, and, like, to be fair, this was headcanon, like, something I would have loved. I would have really, really loved to see something where they tie the base game back to the DLC. In some capacity. I did want to see them do something with Melania, where, like, you show up to Melania and hand her Mikola's super needle, and she's like, oh my god, wait, you know my brother? Or something like that. I don't know. Like, you still fight, ultimately, like, the Sif arena. It's really funny. It really boils down to, I wish they had done another Sif. It really boils down to, I wish they had done another Sif. Because honestly, that was so fucking cool in Dark Souls 1. It really was. It just feels sad that they never did that again. Not really, at least. I do need this crafting pouch, and I do need this whetstone knife. Maybe not immediately, but, well, we're doing it now, I guess. You know what, to be fair, I do have some somber stones to sell, so we can just do that.
Those are the challenge. Find them wet.
I might just sell the 50k off here. Yeah, actually, I think I will. Whatever's left over, we're just going to pump that into straight leveling. There we go. Cool. Alrighty. There's that, and now we need our... Oh, I guess I should have done it at, what's-his-face there, but it's fine. We picked up the whetstone, so we can just do it here. If someone is bad to you, take it as an enemy, because, you know, the hate is true, but love, kindness, anything could be behind it. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, like, kind of, yeah. Now, one thing I will say that I think that came out of it that I thought was really, honestly, pretty cool. I thought they did a really good job with the character of it. Was Ansbach. I actually really liked Ansbach. I thought that was a really cool addition to the game, to the DLC for sure. I didn't care too much for a good chunk of the other NPCs. I think it's also because you had to fight all the other fucking NPCs. That probably attributed to that fact. Well, I mean, you don't have to fight them all, obviously, but, you know. I would say that maybe attributed to something of it. There was a lot of NPC fights. But I will say Ansbach I thought was a really neat introduction, or neat character to add to the story piece. I just wish they had done that a little bit more with maybe a couple more of those characters. Where instead of you essentially... Because honestly, Ansbach I think is the only one, other than Hornsent barely-ish, but Hornsent doesn't really join your cause. It's more so that he just essentially says, oh, I just fucking hate all of you. And that's really the end of his storyline. It's like, oh, okay, alright, I guess. That's... sure. I mean, yeah. would have been nice to see that with Freya, because, God, I loved Freya. He was about to fucking stick me with his dagger. That would have sucked. Oh, shit. I overdid it. God damn it. I fucked up. I fucked up there. I was supposed to take the... You know what? Actually, wait. What am I doing? I could just... Yeah, duh. Look, 6k down the toilet, but I'd rather do that than risk getting hit twice more. I think I am going to take this character all the way through to see if we can get a new PB of 3. So, it just makes sense to me. One thing that sucks about this, though, is that it fucks with our placement a little bit, so... Not ideal, but it'll still work out. It'll still work out. Alright, chug this a little early. Walk in. Flame Grant here, roughly. Alright, now we're doing this slightly different because of the setup here. Oh, okay, he's gonna be a dickhead, apparently. You know what? It's fine. It'll work out either way. Yeah, see? It'll work out either way. That's exactly why we get the plus 13. Alright, pop that old man open real quickly. Bop. Very nice. I do think I just kind of wish they had done a little bit more with the overall NPC exploration, I guess. And that maybe, in a sense, that you could actually help more of the NPCs figure shit out. I think you can do it with, what, I mean, Ansbach never really joins the core cause, so I guess he's kind of like your far out of Miquella's, like, grasp, more or less. Hornsense kind of your secondary... I'm forgetting who else there was, actually. Damn. Maybe I'll look into it before I talk on this too much. Because honestly, if there's more of them that you can end up changing their minds on, then, you know, that's not too bad. Pre-nerf Radon apparently has an aura farming move where he just stands there, cross arms, and throws meteors at you. Yeah, no, actually, yeah, he does have that move, doesn't he? Yeah, no, he does have that fucking move. Crazy bastard.
Your thoughts.
Okay. There we go. And I'm gonna go to Avenue Balcony, and I will be right back because I want my beverage refilled. But then we are gonna go ahead and book it for Mountaintop of the Giants and whatnot. So enjoy the Grundler. Alrighty, let's do this. Let's go get Fire Giant. You know, it's funny, I think I actually kind of wish I had a mod in this case to make it so whenever running through Landell, I didn't have to fucking worry about running, and I could just actually ride Torrent. Because, I mean, like, I know it's not like a horribly large difference in the grand scheme of things, but it would be nice not having to think about doing that every single time. Alright, so, if everything goes correctly, this one bleed grease, I'm sorry, we need 2 bleed grease, my bad. We need 1 for Gideon and 1 for the Godskin duo. I know that's such a good OST. It is a really good OST, for sure. I don't think it's ever one I'd sit down and just listen to, admittedly, but, like, even besides that fact, it is just... It's a damn good OST, for sure. I'm trying to think if there's anything from Elden Ring that I would just outright listen to as a part of, like, my day-to-day listening. I'm actually kind of unsure. You know what, actually, I guess in this case, maybe, like, the main OST would be one of them. Just the main, like, theme would probably be one. Other than that, though, I'm not too sure. Right, we don't need Margaret Shackled anymore. We can go and swap off of that and do Kukri at this point. If you understood it correctly, any legacy dungeon doesn't permit you using torrent is the idea, which makes sense. It's like always a city restricted space. Yeah, no, like that's the thing. That's exactly right, right? You're exactly on the money there. I just think it would be nice in terms of like small areas, because like I don't know. And here's the thing: I know my case is niche because it's literally niche, right? Like I'm running through these areas. I'm booking it, and usually the places I'm looking to book it, it's just because there's nothing going on. Like this spot right here, it makes enough sense that I would have to run through it, because you have these guys right here that are guards, you have these archers over here, which it's interesting enough that, yeah, it makes sense that I should have to do that. So, okay, this guy's giving shite RNG for running. Okay, cool. I think they want you to move. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. You're exactly right on that one, Zanes. So, I know when I'm complaining about it, like, my complaint essentially is just talking into the void at that point, because, I mean, reality is like, this only affects, like, I don't know, what, maybe at most, like, a couple % of the entire player base. And that's really just the people who speedrun this game and who stream this game and play this game so much that it's no longer about immersion, it's more just about enjoyment of the core gameplay. But I guess that's also kind of why mods exist, right? So I wouldn't really dream of doing it on the one that we were just on top of. Normally speaking, at least. Also, what am I doing? I literally just talked about this. I can run now on torrent. So, yeah, admittedly, it's not a horribly deep issue. It's just like bitching to bitch in this case, I guess, is really what I would equate it to. So I'm trying to think about this right now and what we can get done with our, I think at this point, like, remaining, like, 15-20 minutes, roughly. I think we have enough time to definitely get through at least Fire Giant, maybe also Godskin Duo. I think we will ultimately finish this run off, because I think I want to go ahead and do that, regardless. Just so that way I can kind of have more runs under my belt. I think right here I can do this, and I should be safe. Oh yeah, I would never really, honestly, imagine FromSoft to put in too much. I mean, shit, what was it that we just saw happen, like, less than, like, a week ago? Bluepoint had been talking about making a Bloodborne remake, finally, and instead of getting the green light to do that, they got shut down instead. I heard that fucking that blaster shout from that guy, and I was terrified. Horribly terrified. I'm sure there's definitely more context to that conversation than that, but also at the same time, I am sad that Bluepoint got shut down, frankly. Because, like, Bluepoint was kind of kicking ass. Bluepoint was kind of really fucking kicking ass, actually. Like, I thought the Demon's Souls remake was juicy as hell. I thought it was so good. So it is really sad to honestly see Bluepoint get shut down like that. For all intents and purposes, who knows? Maybe there will be another day that Bluepoint gets to shine again, and it's because maybe they get merged into a different side of FromSoft. I can only hope. I really can. But at the end of the day, they're going to do exactly what they're going to do. So, all right, reapply. There we go. That bird got more close than it should have, honestly. I mean, we got away with it, but still. I guess, so, positive things, though. At least in terms of, like, talking about positive things. I've probably been doing no-hits now for, give or take, probably about, I want to say since the new year, pretty much. Like, since the new year kicked in, I have been doing these no-hit runs, roughly. I believe at this point. I would have to look at it, but it's not been a long time. Honestly, I can say I'm pretty happy with how things have been going with it. We've really cut our runs down. Like, we went from essentially, like, I think, what was it, like 50, almost 70 hits or something like that, I think. And admittedly, a majority of those hits came from fucking Gideon, so, haha, fucking Gideon. But still, it's honestly, it's nice kind of seeing the fact that, like, I've gone from almost 70 plus hits down to, at this point, like, we're looking at possibly a PB of 3 for the day. And that's, you know, that's not too shabby. I look forward to when the actual run happens where we genuinely get a hit list, but I can't complain about the small stuff for right now. So. Alright, so here's the thing. Last time I did this, and I got hit by Borealis and got dicked over, I did not get the next Grace that we're coming up on. I think I'm gonna get the Grace just out of sheer superstition at this point. Just to be safe. And you know what, actually, I'm gonna get this one Lily right here, too. I'm really glad that worked out the way that it did, because that little guy there was out of position for me. But we'll take it. No Death was fun, though. No Death was a lot of fun. We actually did, last year, we did almost all... Other than Sekiro, but that's because I don't really count Sekiro, and also I'm not really well experienced in Sekiro, so we would have genuinely never been able to keep up. Eventually we would have gotten it for sure, but it was one of those games that I was just like, I can't fucking do this. But we had gotten essentially hitless in all, or not hitless, but we had gotten deathless in all the games. Yeah. No, we'd gotten deathless in pretty much all the Soulsborns other than Dark Souls 2, pretty much. And that was just because of a time constraint at that point. Please don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare do it, Borealis, you son of a bitch. I know I sound aggressive right now, but it's mainly fear. Mainly fear at the moment. I hear anything from that damn dragon, and I am immediately nervous. The shit he pulled on me last time is comical. It is cartoonish. Run on in. Money, money. Beautiful. So it was like 1 month ago, and you're just starting. So wait, actually, Zanes, I'm sorry. You're telling me you went from going into Souls-likes a month ago, and now here's the thing: you're not just doing RL1, because RL1 that's honestly easier than what you're fucking doing right now. You're not just doing RL1; you're doing RL1 like zero equip. Or like zero enhancing. That in of itself, that's painful. Oh, I just thought of it. Okay, I know exactly what weapon to recommend to you. Get the Serpent Hunter if you haven't. Get the Serpent Hunter. Get the Serpent Hunter. The Serpent Hunter will like. It's not even funny how good that weapon actually is. It's got range on it. It is strength based. The charge attacks on it are disgusting against enemies. The Ash of War really isn't going to do you many favors at all. It's actually really quite bad in most cases, other than the actual boss you use it for. But other than that, you essentially have a weapon that gives you insane level poking. You already finished RL1. Oh, okay, gotcha. So you did RL1, and now you're working on doing RL1, no upgrades, and so forth. And so essentially just RL1, but painful. No, okay, that actually fair. But still, honestly, going from playing no Soulsborns to playing Soulsborns to doing that's pretty sizable leap, for all it's worth. Like, I've been playing Soulsborns for, I mean, shit, better part of my life, honestly. What was I gonna do? I was gonna level up my balls. Do I have everything I need to level up my balls? Yes. Yes, I do. I don't know why I was completely blanking on what I was missing there, but we're good. We're fine. We have everything we need. This can be swapped out to that. And now at this point, we just need to take our Star Fists up as high as we can. So we need 10 more 5s, 12 6s. Yeah. Alright, in this case, we actually need 4 more 5s now. Okay, cool. Shit, I might be missing some cash. I think I might have over-leveled a little bit, because this seems like less money than I'm supposed to have for this. I may not be able to actually meet my requirements right now, which is a little frustrating. Okay, so shit, I hate to say it, but I might actually need to go and get the mausoleum to go get Radahn's remembrance real quickly. I did actually, I overspent. This would not be an issue otherwise. It doesn't really matter where I use this money, so I'm just gonna go and use it now. Because we're gonna have to go get that remembrance anyways. Damn, I have not made that mistake. For quite some time. Never held a controller before, but it's fun. I have always been a bigger fan of using controllers, admittedly. It's always been usually my shebang. Do I have anything with some range on it? Kind of, yeah. Alright, this'll do. Yeah, surely. Oh, was that enough? Yes, it was. Okay, cool. Alright, do that, do that. See, my problem was the 50k rune, I think I wasted it, actually. I was supposed to save the 50k rune, in this case, to help with the extra level ups. But mistakes were made. Alright, Radon's. Radon's provides the most. There we go. Cool. Okay. Alright, we need 3 more 6s, and then we are good to go. Technically means, I think in this case, that I should be doing more damage to Fire Giant because of this situation, but we'll see how that stacks up. It may not actually stack up correctly. Need to do a Deathless RL1 run. That would definitely be insane. Honestly, at that point, I would say your biggest, safest bets are probably to really almost treat it like it is hitless at this point, or like it is hitless at that point, and just learn hitless strats, and obviously get the Ritual Shield Talisman, of course. Like, yeah. Those are definitely the biggest things, but otherwise, I mean, I think in theory that should do it for you. We don't need this extra money on us right now. Yeah, we don't need it. Balls are pretty much our endgame weapon at this point, and we'll get money out of Fire Giant, and that should help us afford our next level ups. But we don't level up our weapon again until Godskin Duo's dead. So. Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, I definitely, I think we got this. It should not be much of a problem. Fire Giant can be a massive pain in the ass, but I don't know, like, Fire Giant, usually speaking, is pretty scriptable for the most part. The one thing that I think has always sucked about Fire Giant is the eyeball. The eyeball, just, the hitbox on it is... It is fucking ass. It is ass. And the crit for it is also just horrible. It makes no sense how the crit for it works. Alright, what's it gonna be? Shovel? Shovel. I choose to run in here because I very often have had it where Fire Giant will just say, fuck you. I'm going to ruin everything. Alright, get that crit. Or get that stagger, my bad. There we go. Good damage. It should be this plant. There we go. Easy. Yeah, when the fight goes well, it goes pretty well. When the fight goes well, it goes pretty well. Absolute fucking generic-ass statement, admittedly, but yeah. Alright, here's the thing. I can do one of two things at this point, because we are actually hitting our time frame. I think what we'll do is we are going to go ahead and let the Grundler here finish the run, but I'm not going to finish it today. Instead, what we'll do is we'll come back next time, finish the run, ultimately. And... yeah. But I'm going to finish that run, and then we'll start a fresh run at that point, and then that new run will start, like, at a slightly different junction, I guess, is really what it comes down to. So, yeah. I think that's the idea. Because honestly, it would be nice to start off next stream with some meat and potatoes, with it being Godskin Duo into Gideon, or I'm sorry, into Malekith, into Gideon, into, yeah. So it would be nice to have that end game, admittedly, to work with. So I think that's the plan. Alrighty. Well, folks, I think that actually is going to have to be it for tonight. So, everybody say goodbye to the Grundler 2 for right now. Grundler 2 will get to finish this run. Unless we get really fucking shat on. You know what, actually, I'm going to say, if I'm planning on continuing it regardless, I will finish the run regardless of what happens. So even if we go over our actual PB at that point, I'm going to go ahead and continue it on just so we can get the practice in. But I think in the meantime, that is going to have to be it for tonight. So, thank you very, very much for joining me tonight. You joined me. I appreciate it a ton and a half. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your nights. If you had a good time, be sure to like and subscribe and all that magical jazz. It does help out a lot. It means a lot to me. Yeah, honestly. Oh, and we do have a Discord, so if you like joining Discords and knowing when streams are going live for the first time in the night, then definitely feel free to join our Discord, because I do always ping on notifs. So, but yeah, I guess in this case, folks, take good care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your nights. Get some food, some water, some sleep, whatever your time frame of the world is. Just take good care of yourselves, and I will see you later. Zanes, thank you very, very much for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate it a ton and a half. You take good care of yourself, and best of luck on your insanity run, man. Honestly. But yeah, folks, you take care of yourselves. I'll see you later.